Hi guys! In this video today, we are going to find a good sense of breathing, sensing our core, finding our hamstrings, and getting some good strengthening in, all within 20 minutes. So let's get started. I first want you to lie on your back. You can grab a block and put it under your head. You can just have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. I want you just to put your hands onto your belly, or you can grab around your ribs. So take your forefingers in the front, your thumbs at the back of your ribs. So not down on the sides of your stomach, but up onto your ribs, right below your bra line for the ladies. And then here, I want you just to take a nice big inhale. Inhale, I want you to sense and feel your rib cage moving. And if you've never noticed this before, this is a great way to help you bring more awareness to this 360-degree breathing. Inhale, feel your ribs and belly expand. Exhale, feel it fall. Notice if you've got a big arch in your lower back, we don't want to be lifting our ribs as we breathe. We want to be breathing down into the floor, to the sides, and up around into the front. So let's do a couple more. Big inhale. Let your belly expand as well. Exhale, feel it fall. Two more, big breath, inhale. Twice as long, exhale. Okay, so that's just feeling the breath. And now I want you to use your breathing to feel your core pulling in, okay? So we're gonna do a ha, exhale, ha, or a shh, like you're blowing out candles on a cake. So it's gonna look like this. You inhale a big breath, full expansion everywhere. And then you're going to shh. You squeeze every last drop of air out of your system. And we're trying to really lengthen out that exhale. What I notice for most people, they have a hard time to exhale for a long amount of time. They exhale probably halfway, and then they really need to take another breath in. So I want you trying to imagine like you're wringing out a dish towel. So it's at the end of that exhale where you're gonna really feel your lower belly pulling in, the sides pulling in, ribs squeezing down. So we don't want to have the belly poof and pop up, but we want to think like it's corseting and squeezing in. You also don't want your back arching and rounding or pushing into the floor. You want your abs doing the work. So let's do two more like that just to feel this sense of a core gathering up and in. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, again you can do ha or shh. So I'll do a ha. Squeezing in. And you're gonna feel that pulling in and together. And try both, see which one feels better for you. Another big inhale. Feel the expansion everywhere. Exhale, shh. So at the end of that exhale, you really want to feel like you're doing an ab exercise. What you don't want is that you're squeezing your butt and tucking your butt under. This is a way a lot of people will fake core stability, is by using their glutes to tuck under for it. So you want to be able to maintain that nice long spine, keeping a good stack, and then feeling the belly squeeze up, in, and from the sides. Let's move this onto a chair. So if you have a chair or a wall, either is good. I want you to bring your feet onto the wall or your chair with your legs in this 90 degrees. Okay, so I have a chair, so I'm going to be flexing my feet up like this. If you have a wall, you'll just have your feet planted against the wall. Okay, so I'm just going to put a block under my head. You can also, I invite you to do the same. So what we're going to do here is try to find our hamstrings. So what I want you to do is you're going to dig your heels down into the chair, or if your feet are on the wall, you're going to pull your heels down the wall. Hands by the sides, and then I want you to think like you're scooping your pelvis up and under you towards the back of the knees. What it's not going to look like is pushing into the wall, and then your head will move up, because then you're using your quads to push into the wall. I want you dragging your heels down the wall, dragging your heels down, and like you're scooping them towards your bum, okay? So as you lift up, I want you feeling hamstrings, the back of the legs. You should not feel your glutes gripping tightly. You want to feel the back of those legs. So it's a slight tuck under. We're not lifting really far. And I can feel my hamstrings here, okay? You want to keep your belly a little bit soft. You want the tension in the back of the legs, not in your chest, your shoulders, your belly, or your glutes. Okay, so hold it here and just breathe like this. Nice slow breaths. Good, and you should feel those hamstrings really like kicking in. It's a slow burn, so it's not going to be brutal, but depending on your hamstrings. If you cannot feel it, just think about that area and you'll start to feel them work a little bit more, okay? Now we're going to add some breathing to this. I want you to take your right arm over your head into like a cactus shape. Left arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Draw your left knee slightly down, like you're doing a little bit of a hip shift, so that your right knee goes up a little higher than the left. Reaching your left arm up towards the ceiling, I want you to inhale a big breath. Exhale, same and really feel a squeeze of that left side abs, left rib pulling down and in. Do it again. Inhale, big breath. Exhale. Should feel everything working. Hamstrings, abs. I'm dying here. One more. Inhale. Big expansion. Try not to let the breath come up into your shoulders. Exhale. Squeezing every last drop of air out of your system, and then release. You could do that 3 to 5 times. 3 was already actually quite challenging, so you can work your way up to doing more and doing more sets of them as well. So now that you are finding that breath, we're getting a little bit more breath into the whole body and feeling your abs and your hamstrings working. Let's do a little bit more strengthening to find the glutes and the hamstrings on our back. So I want you to lie down again with your head on a block. Okay, here we're going to do just a couple of spinal rolls. So you're going to press your feet into the floor. You're going to tuck your pelvis up and under you and then ripple and roll your pelvis up towards the ceiling. What I want you to try to think about here is that you're going to drag your heels towards your bum. This is going to light up your hamstrings a little bit more. And then roll it, curl it back and down. The other thing that you can do here to feel a little bit more of those inner legs is you can grab a block and put it between your knees. Okay, so it'll look like this. Placing the block between your knees. We're going to press into your feet, lift your hips, curl them up, pulling the heels back towards you as you lift. We're doing one vertebra at a time as you lift up, trying not to lift with your ribs, and then curl it and roll it back and down. Do one more. Press the feet, curl, ripple, roll your pelvis up. Again, legs are doing it. Pull those heels back towards your bum for a little bit more hamstrings and glute engagement. And then lower it back and down. Okay, now we're going to switch it up a little bit. So I want you to lift your left hip up first. So I want you to press into your left foot and then lift that left side, left butt cheek up. Get it up as high as it can. The right side is just kind of hanging out. And then take your right foot, press down and lift your right hip up to meet it. And then you're going to take your left hip, sink it down, keeping your right side up. And then once the left comes down, you slowly lower that right one down as well. Okay? And then we'll do it again. So press into your right foot, lift that right butt cheek up. Left just kind of hangs, so we're getting a little kind of twist of the pelvis. And then you lift the left hip up to meet the right. And then you drop the right side down, and then the left one comes down to meet it. Okay, let's do this one more time each side. So press into your left foot, lift that left hip up. You should feel the back of your left glute. Pull the left heel back towards you. And then drive down through that right foot, lift the right hip up. Left hip lowers down, right hip lowers down to meet it. Last one, right hip lifts up, squeeze it up as high as you can. Left one comes up to meet it. Right hip lowers down, and then the left hip lowers down as well, okay? Take the block out, we're gonna put it to the outside of your right knee. So you're gonna roll your right knee out to the side, keeping your left knee up towards the ceiling. Here, I want you to press into your left foot again and lift, just lift that left hip up. Now, what we're looking for as we do this, your left hip lifts towards the ceiling while your left rib stays down towards the floor. And then you lower. So we're trying to move from your hip and your pelvis without your ribs coming along for the ride. I like to tell people to take their hand onto their rib here, and as they lift their left hip up, they're kind of squishing that left rib down, so it's staying more flushed to the floor. So just do a couple more here, lifting up. You can add a press of the right knee down into the block, and then lower. 2 more, press up, and lower. And then let's switch sides. So now you'll do the right side. Left leg rolls out, right leg stays up. Again, we're going to press down into that right foot, lift the right hip up. I'm trying not to let this rib come up with it. And then again, press into that right foot, lift the hip up. And then lower it down. Do a couple more, press down, lift up. You can add the left leg pushing down into that block for a little bit more. We're just trying to get as good of feels through that lower back and stretching as you can. So as you're lifting, this pelvis is like scooping up, tucking under, and then I'm pushing my lower back, my upper back, my ribs into the floor. And then do one more. Press down, lift up. Good. And then release and lower it down. The next exercise we're going to do is an inverted breathing drill. So you're going to take a block and you're going to put it under both knees. Then you're going to come down onto the floor, onto your elbows and your forearms. I'm going to make a little diamond triangle with my hands here. And then I'm going to shift forward a little bit further so that I can feel the weight over my shoulders, over my elbows. Okay, I want a long neck looking down at my thumbs. Belly, we don't want to sink the belly and let the ribs just drop down. We're trying to find this nice stack with our breathing. So I want you to gently pull your ribs up and in without tucking your bum under. This is too much. This is too little. So you want to find that Goldilocks right in the center. So you want to pull those ribs in, getting the ribs in, pushing through your elbows, keeping your bum free. Keep a big butt. Okay, try not to sit back too far. You definitely want to have your shoulders right over those elbows. Long neck, looking at my thumbs, big inhale. Hold the breath at the top, exhale, you can do that belly. Feel your belly pull up and in. And you should really feel it work here. Big inhale. Feel expansion, exhale. Feel that belly pull up and in. Inhale, pushing through the elbows, find a lot of expansion. Exhale, feeling belly pull in without your bum tucking and squeezing. Okay, feel your abs working, ribs in. Do one more, big breath, inhale. And exhale. Sit back and relax. So that should actually be quite a challenging movement, and I recommend that we do it 2 to 3 times. We'll do it one more time together here, but you could pause the video and do it a 3rd time. This is a great exercise to really get that expansion into the upper body, get that good stack with your ribs, and then keeping the butt nice and free. These are all the mechanics that you want to have when you do a hinge or a squat. So it's really important functions for daily life things, okay? So let's do it again one more time. So you're gonna come back, bring your elbows down to the floor. Elbows are a bit wider, making a triangle with your hands, looking down at your thumbs, okay? Make sure you're not back too far. You wanna be a little bit further forward so you feel some ab engagement. We're gonna push down through those elbows the whole time. Draw your ribs in slightly, keep your butt free. Nice long neck. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, belly. Inhale, big breath. Feel all that expansion in the back. Exhale. 2 more, big breath, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, big breath, inhale. And exhale. Good. Sit back and relax. Okay? Now let's do, before the penultimate move we're going to do today, we're going to do a little bit of rib cage rotation, because this is super important for managing the pressure in the system. And then we're going to finish off with a little bit of a squat. So I want you to come into a child's pose position. So you're going to have your knees can be wider, or your knees in is fine. And then I want you to come onto your elbows just in front of you. So we're going to be slightly squishing into the belly. Here, I want you to take your right hand behind your head, and then we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So I want you to inhale here. You're going to round up like a cat. Push your elbows, round your spine up, and then on the exhale, you're going to drive down through that left elbow and twist. Okay, let's do a couple more. Bring that elbow back down, round up like a cat. Exhale, drive down through that left arm and twist. Good, come back down, elbow down, inhale, round up. Exhale, twist. Try to twist more. Feel your abs doing the twisting, okay? Keeping that rounding in your spine. 1 more, big inhale. And exhale. Pushing through that left elbow, and then coming back to the center. Okay, and then let's do the other side. I'm just going to flip around for you onto the other position. Okay, so now left hand is behind the head. We're going to round up on an inhale. Feel the back expand. Exhale, twist. I'm driving down through that right elbow. Coming back down. Inhale, big breath. Round up. Exhale. Drive down through that right elbow. Again, coming back. Inhale, round up. Exhale. Really feel your under armpit working on that right arm, and abs are working too. Inhale, round up. Exhale. Good, and then release. If that felt really challenging for you and really limited rotation through your rib cage, know that that's a good place for you to work on to optimize more movement and rotation through that rib cage to help you manage pressure down and around into your lower back, pelvic floor. It's a critical piece that is often overlooked in postpartum recovery. The last pose that we're going to do is keeping all of those pieces together. So we want to stack our pelvis over our ribs. We don't want to have this tucking under. We don't want to have a big J-lo. We want to find that nice stack where our ribs are living nicely over our pelvis and keeping that butt free as we work. So to help with the rib cage engagement, we're going to take a block, and over time you can progress and add weights to this. So you're going to press the block in between your hands. You can sit to a chair, okay? So feet hip-width distance apart, or a little bit wider if you need to. I want you to take a big breath, inhale. Exhale, squeeze your block and sit back. And then come back up, okay? So as you can see, when I'm sitting down, I'm not tucking under and I'm not arching my back a lot, okay? So we're trying to keep that nice stack that we've been working on in this class. Big inhale, get the expansion all around the body. Exhale, press the block, and you can sit down and then press yourself back up, okay? Big inhale, exhale, squish the block, sit down, push yourself back up. Big inhale, exhale, squish the block, and then push yourself back up. Okay, do a couple more. Big inhale, exhale, squish the block, So we're trying not to fall into the chair. You're trying to lightly either just tap the chair or sit in the chair for a moment, and then you can exhale, push yourself back up. If you find this quite challenging, you might do it like this. Big inhale, exhale, squish, sit down as much as you can, pause, take an inhale, exhale, squish the block to stand back up, okay? And I would do this 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 3 times, okay? So this is a nice way to finish it off. And then I would end this little 20-minute flow by lying on your back, putting your feet up onto the wall or onto a chair, and just letting your legs relax here. Hands onto your belly, to the sides, and then just relax here for a few breaths. Let your body calm down. And I would stay here for 3 to 5 minutes, just allowing the breath to infiltrate all that new space that you've created in this workout today, and absorbing all that good strength that you are creating in your body. Thanks for joining. See you in the next videos.